Greetings and salutations. Another episode of Fangs up here. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about FAMU football. Also, going to be talking about the men's basketball program, some of the recruiting information that is going on there. Also, going to be talking about the volleyball team and what's going on with women's basketball. That's something that needs to be talked about. And also, inside the Rattlers, and who is the man in the receivers room? Who's the man that you need to know about? Like, that's the real question. Who's the man? Who's the guy that you may not have heard much about, but that you need to hear about? Like, we're going to go over some of that. First and foremost, going back to the football program, our recruiting has been crazy at FAMU. It's been off the charts, it's been bonkers. And one of the things about the football program has been that we've continued to draw interest in the program. It's really good to me as a fan when we're able to say that FAMU is a winning product and it's a viable option. And it's something that people want to see and something that people want to watch. And the recruiting visits are key to that. We have had high schools from Miami. We also have had locally schools like some of the students from Lincoln High School come on campus as well as Seabreeze High School down in Central Florida and Jones High School. And having these students come in means that we're improving our recruiting base. We're building up our audience, and we are also getting more students involved in interacting with the coaching staff. And that's only a good thing because as long as the coaching staff is interacting with these students, it means they're also talking to them and they're also building a rapport with them and their coaches, which is sorely needed. We definitely need that. And I'm excited about it. I look forward to every time when coach or in one of the students posts that, hey, I'm on campus. This is what's going on. I'm excited to be at FAMU. And I like it. I enjoy it. It's important to me as a fan that FAMU continues to grow and continues to build. We're also seeing FAMU go on multiple recruiting tours. And Coach Dubless, Coach Ristris, uh, announced that, hey, I'm going to be going to the stamp camp. That's going to be in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania at Shrewsbury State University this Saturday. And again, more opportunities for more eyes and FAMU's brand to go across the nation. This is in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has long been known for producing high quality linebackers and offensive linemen, and it can only benefit FAMU to be able to recruit these kind of players going forward. It's a good thing. Also, though, Bragg Stadium continues to, I don't want to say grow because it's not growing, it's actually getting smaller, but it continues to get improved. And the refurbishments are looking beautiful. Check the Twitter page, check the Facebook page, especially check on Facebook. They have a video it's by Mega Ace. And normally, I got to give credit where credit is due. Vaughn Wilson does a great job with producing quality content talking about what's going on at the stadium as well. But you're able to see the stadium looks really nice. It looks new. They put down the majority of the seats on the alumni side. If you remember, the visitors or student side was done first, and then the alumni side was done second. And it looks really nice. At the Orange and Green game, it wasn't done yet. I don't saying something is half done is not correct because saying something is half done normally insights that someone just didn't finish their work. The stadium wasn't completed, and you could tell at just kind of going in there as a spectator, looking in there, it was just like, okay, we've got room to grow. We've got some work to do to make the stadium look like it should. And me personally, I'm excited about it. I love Bragg Stadium. I grew up at Bragg Stadium, Tallahassee, born and bred, and I love to come back home. But I especially love to come back home and see where we've invested into improving the city and the campus. I'm a homer, and seeing Bragg Stadium as what it could be is nice. I feel like it could be better. I would love for us to do some more upgrades to the field house, improve that area. I'm not a huge fan of the end zone club in the north end zone. I would love to kind of close that off or turn that into something that was just a little more welcoming or a little more useful. Maybe even close off the northern bowl of the stadium to make it a horseshoe style of stadium, but something that would help with that, and then potentially moving all that stuff from the north end zone and the south end zone as part of a field house project that includes meeting rooms and a utilize the meeting rooms for not just meeting but also hosting the parties and events and everything that happens in the north end zone as far as the drinking and the eating and everything else. But that's just me. That I'm not an engineer. I'm just a stadium nerd that loves visiting stadiums. But I feel like that would be a great idea to updating the stadium. We also have All Americans at FAMU, and that's just another way of improving the product. And when you have All American talent, other schools are going to pay attention. And for instance, we saw where two of our students got the ah, Athlon Sports preseason All American, and it was a struggle to say it because I have not been reading Althon since probably late college years. But when I was a kid, that was a magazine. Like you knew football season was coming when you saw that magazine. It was like, hey, oh, okay, mom, we're going to Publix. Come on now, can you get the magazine? I'll leave you alone. I'll read, and it worked both ways for me. It got me to read, and it got me to excited, and it got it got me out of my mom's face for probably the rest of the time we were at the grocery store and much of the summer because I would sit there and read the entire magazine. It wasn't long, like 150, maybe 200 pages. So I don't know. But Isaiah Land, the all-world linebacker slash defensive end edge rusher for Florida A&M University, is the guy, and he is the first guy. We had two guys on there, and from what I've seen FAMU and what I've heard, I haven't checked the magazine. I will likely buy one in my leisure or leisure, however you want to say it. It doesn't matter to me. But Isaiah Land, number 31, the Buck Buchanan Award winning, 12 game playing, 32 solo tackle having, 11 assist having, 43 total, 19 sack having, one one fumble recovered, three fumble forced. Son of a gun, and he's having a hard time holding these Gators down. Ric Flair quote, sorry, but that dude is the guy. Right? To be the man, you got to beat the man, and Isaiah Land is the man as far as FAMU's football team. Like unquestioned, no one is not talking about the accolades that he's had, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do. I really feel like he is getting a lot of the spotlight and attention because he did win the award, but because of his production on the field, and that's something that's going to hopefully continue to draw other talent to campus. Who was the other guy that got All American honors from the magazine? Jamarie Shareed, also known as K Dot. So more than likely you'll hear Coach say K Dot. He may say Jamarie, but a lot of times he'll just say K Dot for those who are familiar with the program. He's number 10. He's a 5'7", 175-pound receiver. He played in 12 games last year, 55 catches, 622 yards, 11 yards per catch, and 51 yards per game. Good numbers, especially considering FAMU likes to run the ball. We enjoy running the ball. We throw the ball a good amount. That's unquestioned. That's not even something we're going to debate. FAMU is going to throw the ball, but the running game travels. FAMU had 1,000 yard rusher. We rushed for over 2,000 yards as a team, but we have a decent quarterback. I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that McKay is the best quarterback in the SWAC right now, but statistically, he's really good, and the data supports saying that he's worthy of respect. And whether folks like it or not, data is what people tend to look at first. And those are two guys. I was surprised that Shadur didn't quite make it just because somewhat of the hype. I don't think he's the best quarterback in the SWAC, and I'm not trying to say that to speak ill of the guy. I'm pretty sure he's a great kid, really good athlete. I've said it before that pre-snap the kid's a killer. Pre-snap reads he if you don't stop him, it's a problem. But he's a human like anybody else. Once the ball gets snapped and things happen, he's gonna react. He's gonna react in the pocket. And if you can continue to harass him throughout the football game, and that's not a great term to use, but it is what it is. But if you can continue to bother him, there we go. If you can continue to bother him, get on his nerves, and get kind of in his face the way teams were last year, he's gonna make mistakes. He did have ball security issues last season. I'm pretty sure he's gonna work on that. But again, if you are able to get to any quarterback, you're going to humanize them. You're going to normalize them. So I'm not going to say that he's a top 10 quarterback at the FCS level, but I do feel like he is. one of the better quarterbacks in the SWAC just for this year. Again, not saying top, he's my number one, but he's one of the better ones. I'm looking for. I'm hearing some other guys. I want to see what they're offering. Hearing a lot about Texas Southern quarterback, but I got to see Texas Southern and believe it. It's just me. Last time FAMU played them, we put a mollywop on them. But that was also before Hurricane when they came all the way to Tallahassee. Now, other sports, we have a lot going on. Men's basketball, coach is doing really well. For someone who's not doing a lot of talking and not really utilizing social media, he's doing a lot as far as recruiting. And we have a lot of offers that are going out there and that are coming out. And me personally, I like it. I feel like FAMU has to continue to recruit the best players out there, but also recruit players that are realistic. And one of them is going to be CJ Ingram. He's a 6'4", 170-pound guard from Hawthorne, Florida, Hawthorne High School. And from what I'm able to see, Hawthorne is like middle through high school, which is interesting. And he's a 2025 player. So he's got a little ways before he gets into college. But one of the things he is able to do is he's a multi-sport athlete. He plays quarterback as well as is a guard. So I want to see what happens. Is he going to get an offer from FAMU to play quarterback? I'm pretty sure he will. He has other offers from G5 schools at the FBS level, and I want to see how that translates as far as him getting an offer to FAMU and him potentially coming on and playing. Because does he become like a Charlie Ward? Charlie Ward was a two-sport athlete at Florida State. He did a lot of really great things, and obviously he wasn't the Heisman. But that is just kind of giving you an example. And if he is a two-sport athlete, how does that affect him with NIL? Like, potentially with NIL, this guy's a threat. Like he's a basketball player, he's a football player. Can you do a little Cordell Stewart thing with him where slash this, slash that? What could you be able to do with a guy like that? Another guy that we have offered is Peyton Williams, 6'8" forward from Tampa, Florida, from Lawson State College, Lawson State Community College. And another guy, 6'8" forward. I love the size. I love the idea of recruiting a basketball team of players that are 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", even if they're junior college players to play the forward. Like I love it. I love it. I want it. I want us to have a 7-footer that we did have last year. He didn't really play a lot, but I want us to continue to have guards that are at least 6'7", 6'8", to go along with the 7-foot center. I'm okay with shorter point guards. Shooting guards, not so much. I like a shooting guard that's about 6'4" and above, but I understand we kind of got to get what we can get when it comes to talent. But we just had a really good season. So this is where you ride what MJ did last year, especially to a player that's ball dominant and say, hey, guy, you're ball dominant. We had a ball dominant guard last year who could distribute the ball. MJ was not a great 3-point shooter. He's capable as a 3-point shooter, but he was a slasher. He could get to the bucket. He could get fouls. He's a really good player. And honestly, MJ was probably my favorite player on the team as far as last season. Last year, him, Merengue, Downtown Johnny Brown, Keith Little. Keith Little's probably gonna be like my favorite, second favorite. I'm biased. His name is Keith, but I'm just giving y'all like those are my guys that I'm really was high on last year, and to see us continuing to bring in more guys that are 6'8", 6'4" means one within the Southwest Athletic Conference, we're going to need that talent. We've definitely seen where the guys in the SWAC, it's a faster conference, but we're also going to need that size so that we can contend around the bucket. One of the problems we had last season was the rebounding. We had a problem rebounding last year. We were not a great rebounding team, and that's something we have to improve on, especially if we're going to win any games, not just in conference, but in general. If you're not able to rebound, you're not able to win, and we have to be able to do that. Now, FAMU volleyball, another program that is tearing it up. I'm sorry, I shortchanged. The SWAC champion FAMU volleyball team is able to bring in 3 players. We lost some, but we get a whole lot back. FAMU just had a haul of talent. And if you're not aware of what kind of talent we got, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you out, expedite the process so you don't have to go searching for it. Aja Jones, 6'1" senior from Florida Gulf Coast. That's down in Fort Myers, Florida. She went to Venice High School and she's from Venice, Florida. She's a middle blocker. Now, y'all know I don't know what all these positions are when it comes to volleyball. I played football, baseball, basketball, a little bit of soccer, and even with soccer, I can't really tell you much. I know what a striker is, and I'm not talking just about the ones who dance. But Aja Jones, middle blocker, and she again, she's fairly tall. 6'1" is not short for a lady. Just I don't know. I don't know a less sexist way of saying that. That's just it is what it is. But she had 33 starts, and she helped Florida Gulf Coast win the Atlantic Sun. That's big. Florida Gulf Coast has really nice facilities. Their arena is fairly new. I want to say the Lawson Center is newer. It's definitely bigger. But Gulf Coast, as we've seen, they had a nice run in NCAA basketball. And this is just, to me, FAMU's new way of getting talent. In the past, FAMU got talent by going overseas. We would get European girls to come be on the FAMU volleyball team. And eventually, we got told we couldn't do that anymore. And we had to change up how we ran as far as recruiting. And we saw a little change in talent. Now we're seeing with the advent of the transfer portal, this is being utilized to help bolster our roster, and that's easier when you win the SWAC. When you win conferences, people want to come play with you. You want to be associated with a winner. Like, just let's be honest. Certain teams don't have a lot of fans. All right, you didn't have a whole bunch of Cincinnati Bengal fans before this season. You're gonna have more, but they're a regional franchise, opposed to where all of a sudden there are a lot more Kansas City Chiefs fans than there used to be. It's not as regional because they won a Super Bowl, they won more games. Another student is Brooklyn Watts. She's a 5'9" sophomore from Murray State, from Arundel High School in Ortonton, Maryland. I tried to take my time to say that. But she was the bomb diggity. She was a amazing player. I hesitate to use animal words when I'm talking to people, so you'll very rarely hear me say somebody's a dog or something like that, especially with female. That's to me that's just not cool. I wouldn't want you calling my daughter a dog. But this young lady was amazing. She was the OVC Freshman of the Year. She also had the most kills by a freshman in Murray State history, which that's a lot. Not saying Murray State has a rich volleyball tradition, but saying a freshman came over and just took your records and owned it. And I really feel like that's something to talk about, and that's nothing to sleep on, especially considering how FAMU had a really good season, first season in the SWAC. Like, first year in the SWAC, and we won a conference championship. Not saying we're going to run through the SWAC. I've never said that. I'm never going to say that. But that helps build the brand so that you can eventually become that team that you were in the past, where in the MEAC, we ran the MEAC forever. FAMU ran the MEAC in volleyball because we had really good teams. Last person is Brooke Hudson. She's a 5'3" senior from Colorado State University, from Cypress Lake High School, and that's outside of Houston, Texas, or in the Houston, Texas area. And she's a defensive specialist. So she's 5'3". She's not going to be blocking a lot of balls at the net because she's slight of stature. But her pictures and her videos show her defensive prowess getting digs. Like, she's got that what for to her, to where she's gonna make a difference. And that, just for me as a fan, I hope we're able to support the volleyball program a little bit more than we have done in the past. Go to the games, pack out whatever gym they play in. I feel like FAMU volleyball should eventually, if that's not already planned, just take over Gaither. That becomes their home gym, and we make it something where the students go and have fun. Make it an atmosphere where teams don't want to come to Gaither. We don't want you wanting to come to Gaither because in the past, when teams played FAMU, it was an L. They went ahead, they saw the schedule, they said, "Yep, that's a loss. We're gonna take that L," and they did. You had no choice. Like, we were better. Like, I mean, I hate to say it like that, but we were just better than them. We had better talent. Coach was a great recruit. Like, it was really, really good program at its zenith, and hopefully we can see a return to that zenith. Now, women's basketball. Coach got killed. They killed Coach Pillow the other day, especially off script. He got her good, and it's fair. It is what was said nice? Absolutely not. But is it fair? A fair critique? Okay, I'll let you slide on that. And one of the big things that is we potentially need to, how are we going to flip the roster? There's been no news. I haven't heard about any camps as of late or anything like that. And we definitely, the summer's coming to an end. We need to have something, some type of juice to come up into the program, to inject into the program, to excite it. Because if we're not going to be able to excite the fan base, they're not going to come to the games. We saw this during the season where the attendance for the women's basketball game was slim to none. I'm just saying, some of those games, if you had 150 people, it was a good night for the girls basketball. Then all of a sudden, 1 hour later, the gym was packed. Like Lawson was filled, 8, 9 thousand people. The band is there. Like literally, some of the women's basketball games outside of the band, nobody was there, and it was because the product wasn't watchable, and it wasn't watchable for a lot of reasons. We had injuries. COVID just wrecked shop with that program, and it made it very difficult for the program to be able to play any games. We had to cancel games because of COVID. I mean, I remember watching the first Cookman game. We came back, we won it. I was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna make a little noise this year. Okay, we beat Cookman. I mean, granted, it's Cookman, but still, anytime you beat BCU, it's a good day as a fan, as a FAMU fan. That's just being petty. Like I'm just gonna let y'all know. At times, I'm petty about this rivalry. Most times, I'm not. I'm really not. I'm just not that kind of person anymore. But on game day, I'm definitely petty. I'm all the petty. I'm all the petty. And I even have coworkers who go to Cookman, and we talk to each other lovingly, and we talk trash, talk junk. It's like, yeah, baseball's coming. Like, bro, you know it's coming. Come on, man, come on. We're gonna make a little noise, but it's always fun, and it's always done in a certain kind of way. But the rest of the season hit, and it was trash, man. Like that last Cookman game, we got destroyed. And part of the problem was because we just didn't have any depth. Like end of the season, players were hurt. Some probably mailed it in. Like it just wasn't gonna work, and it didn't happen. It wasn't a good look for us. So we got to figure out how to get some more talent because we did get a signing. We got to transfer Skylar Baltzegger, but that's been about a month or two ago. 6'2" guard from Charleston Southern, and hopefully, I'm just gonna call her spade a spade. I hope she's ball dominant. I'm here for a girl on that basketball team that can get buckets. Because I tell you what, we missed a whole lot of shots in the season in some of those games, and I would just love to have somebody that can give me 20 points a night. You give me 20 and 10, man, we might have a good season of women's basketball. I'm just saying, like 20 and 10, like all right, you can carry us to at least 8 wins. I'm just saying that, and that doesn't sound good, and it's not the cool thing to say, but a 10-win season when you just finished coming off of 3 wins is huge. Like it's a difference. It's something to talk about. Like we got to get some more wins in there, y'all. So I'm excited to see what FAMU's programs are going to be overall. I've probably said I've excited quite a bit because I'm genuinely hopeful for some upcoming change and some growth within the university and its programs, especially to figure out when we're going to get an athletic director. Like I've heard we're supposed to have one by the Orange Blossom Classic. I think that's a failure. I just that's just me. I'm one of those people when you make a move like that, kind of have who you want in mind. I do like that we have a search firm over this. I feel like the 18-person panel at this point is just there to kind of meet, and so the university has a voice. But at the same point, I really want the search panel to just be there to kind of review the resumes, whereas the actual company that's doing the professionals that are doing paid to do this, they let them kind of make the decision. Let them pick somebody who's probably not related to FAMU, or if they are, someone who's left FAMU and done some good things somewhere else. Now, finishing up, who's the man? Who is the man in the FAMU receiver room? Now, I told y'all I was gonna try to get three. I don't have three. Yeah, I only have two. And the reason I have two is because I don't include freshmen in this. I'm not including any freshmen in any process, any part of this process with preseason scouting or preseason, whatever. And it's because I'm relying on their information from high school and not what they've done against college level competition. And I'm not saying that they can't do it. I'm saying that there's a lack of familiarity and a lack of data that I have to validate saying you need to look out for this dude. I can do that with all the dudes that have played college. But the dudes that have not played a lick of college football, I'm not going to sit up here and advocate for them yet. And it's not because I doubt them, because I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm excited about TJ Demons. Like that offensive lineman. I'm here for it. I'm excited. Uh, ooh, that little guy right there from Tampa. I think he's got a future. Just gonna say it. Hope he stays at FAMU all 4 years. But yeah, like I'm excited about some of those guys, but I can't put them on the list because I haven't seen what they've done. But somebody I can put on the list is Trevonte Davis. He is number 13 on the roster. Now, if you like me, I need to know what your number is because I remember as a kid watching FAMU and watching FSU and be like, yo, number 28, that's my dude. I knew 28 was already done, but still, number 17, Charlotte Ward, like for me, your number and your name correlate. I'm just saying. Like I with FAMU guys, I always knew the name though. I was a little more of that hardcore FAMU than I was hardcore FSU. But Trevonte Davis, he's number 13. He's a 6'1", 205-pound receiver from Flint, Michigan. He's a redshirt junior, which means we got 2 years. I'm excited. And he transferred from Wayne State, and he played 11 games last year at Wayne State. Wayne State is Division two, so he's coming up a level. He had 38 catches, and he has 686 yards. He averaged 18 yards per catch, and he averaged 62 yards per game. And he was the leading receiver on the team. I'm just gonna cut it to you straight. Guy was the leading receiver on the team, and so far I've heard that he can compete. I haven't seen it, and it's not because of anything other than the fact I'm just not on campus. I'm not on campus every day watching the film. I'm not in the film rooms. I'm not outside in that 100-degree heat watching FAMU's practice. But looking at his stats, that's a guy I need to look for, especially considering he's 6'1". I did talk about K Dot earlier. K Dot is 5'7". So FAMU's receiver room got bigger when they got that recruit, and they got someone with experience. I'm looking forward to see how does he match up, especially in games like Jackson State. Jackson State is you going from Division two level talent to some high end Division one level talent. Like Dion's got some corners that can get drafted, namely his son, because his son is a monster. Like Shiloh is he's good. I'm not I can't take anything away from that kid. That kid is actually a really good corner, and I want to see if he goes against that kind of corner, what does he do? And is it gonna be a little bit of oh man, this guy, like I know who he is, he ain't nothing, or is it gonna be like yo, okay, I didn't think this dude had it in him. I want to see that. How does that turn out for Javante, and how does the step up in talent affect him, and how does the change in speed affect him? I mean, there's a difference between Florida speed and speed in other places, but with how much students train nowadays and him being down here in Florida for so long, these months going in, I wonder how that helps him because competition will make you faster. I'm just gonna say that competition can make you faster, and I look forward to see what it's gonna look like. Last one is a guy I featured last week, so it's not really fair, but it's David Manigo. Manigo is number 85, 6'3", 190-pound receiver. He played 12 games. He had 31 catches, 365 yards. He averaged 11 yards per catch and 30 yards per game. So why is he on the guys that okay, keep an eye out for him? He and the one for last week, well, he's our third leading receiver, but he had less than 500 yards. Like I struggle to give a guy who had less than 500 yards a hey y'all look out for him. Like you guys see this guy, he's gonna be the man. You got to look out. He's gonna have a breakout season because looking at the previous season, it wasn't a breakout season. It was good, but I'm also a FAMU pundit. I'm also a person that is going to look deeper than the fact that he had 365 yards and say, well, FAMU rushed for 2,000 yards as a football team. Deshaun McKay, this was his first season starting last year. McKay has also not played as much football as some of his football counterparts. So in the first game against Jackson State, we really couldn't throw the ball that well. I'm gonna look at those kind of things because of my bias. Whereas someone who's not biased is not gonna look at that. They're just gonna look at the numbers, they're gonna look at the data, and they're gonna say it was good, but it wasn't great. And so that's why I got him on that list of all right, who's the guy coming up that you need to notice? Who's the guy coming up that you should pay attention to? Because otherwise, you're gonna say, You didn't talk about a man ago, and I don't want to be that guy. I want you to say, hey, this guy, he's keeping an eye on everyone and he's paying attention. So I'm excited, y'all. I've said it several times. I'm going to work on saying that because I am truly energized about the outcome of this university and its athletic programs, excluding women's basketball. I'm not jazzed about that right now. You got to get me back because even during the season, I kind of stopped watching some of the games because I was just aggravated and tired of losing. But it's not because I don't like the program. It's because I actually care and I really want to win. And to me, it's important that FAMU does well. But we've seen FAMU continues to do very well. We saw where FAMU had a player go to the national championship for NCAA track and field. She finished in the top 25, but she didn't win. We also see where FAMU recruiting continues to be very aggressive in the pursuit of the top talent in the nation. That's something we got to do. I'm just going to say right now, Jackson State is winning the arms race as far as facilities. They have a bigger stadium. They got the brand new locker room. They have a lot going on. And as I stated, even though Bragg has been renovated, one of the things we're going to need to look at in the coming probably 3 to 5 years is refurbishing the field house and maybe redoing it. I'm definitely, again, I support closing that Northern Bowl and redoing a field house that includes meeting rooms and have the meeting rooms have like terrace seating so that you can have all your parties and everything else and watch the football game from the south end zone and everything like that. I just think that's a great way to maximize the space. And during homecoming, come on, if you close off the northern part of the stadium and create a horseshoe, you're gonna get 35, maybe 40,000 people in there. It's gonna be packed. As y'all folks would like to say, it's gonna be lit because it already is Mick Litty. Like it's a good look. It's a great idea. Just me personally. Then we had two All Americans, and from what I'm told, the only HBCU with All Americans on the Athlon preseason sports notebook. I said notebooks magazine. Isaiah Land, the man. Like, come on, y'all. Like, get him in. Was due to him. And then Jamaria Shareed, also known as K Dot. K Dot, explosive player, and I look forward to seeing what he's going to be doing this season. And I'm just going to say that the big question is going to be when it comes to Isaiah Land, what happens now that we lost our one of the best linemen in there? That our defensive line is going to be big. Like that's going to be huge. What happens with the loss of Savion Williams? And because Savion was putting pressure on people. Like go check his stats from last year. Dude is good, and so far he looks like he might stick with the Jets for a little bit longer. So I'm hoping for you, Savion, and also Marquise Bell. I know I'm going off my show rundown. Marquise Bell is tearing it up. You said he would. We said he would, and all were very confident. Shout out to Coach Simmons on getting that student to come to FAMU, and shout out to Marquise for just making it known that he belongs in this area. Like, check his Twitter page, check his Instagram, especially. His Instagram is like him with FAMU, his FAMU uniform with the Dallas Cowboys star behind it. So that guy's gonna have a future as long as he does what he needs to do in the league, he's going to have a future. As far as men's basketball, again, we offer two players. One is a freshman, 2025, so I guess it will be a sophomore now, from Hawthorne High School. The other is a junior college transfer. I fully support the move to recruit college transfers. For too long, FAMU has been a place that students have transferred out of and not transferred into. And again, the success that we had in the SWAC tournament this past year is to me, part of the reason that we have that success in recruiting right now. Also, the fact that the Lawson Center is a nice gymnasium. It's a nice arena, and when you can get a full house in the Lawson Center, it's a problem. Like that arena can get loud because all the seats are over top or on top of the floor. Like if you when you walk into the Lawson Center, you are several rows above the basketball court, and all that noise just travels down onto the floor. Let's continue to create a hostile environment at Lawson. The volleyball team gets three transfers. The SWAC champion volleyball team gets three transfers. One of them was all Ohio Valley Conference as a freshman. Hopefully, we get her to stay for a while. The other one is going to help Florida Gulf Coast win the Atlantic Sun. Hopefully, she helps us win the SWAC. And the other is going to be transferring from Colorado State as a defensive specialist. And again, check her pictures on either the FQ Family Twitter page, shameless plug, or the Fangs Up Twitter page, and you'll be able to see that most of her pictures are all her doing digs and really going after the ball. FAMU basketball, we got to get some positive news out there, but I'll bring up some old news so that it is positive. Skylar Balzegger, she's a guard, 6'2", College of Charleston. She transferred over to FAMU about a month or two ago, but we got to get some more in. And we also had who was the man, who was the guy to talk about? Trevante Davis and David Manigo from the receiving core. Those were the big time players to talk about, and the people that I feel that you should keep an eye out on throughout the remainder of the season. As always, y'all know I appreciate your time. I thank you for listening, and it's always going to be things up.